Hi, I'm Leslie Grace, and I am the president-elect of Pennsylvania Art Education Association. As I record this, by the time you'll be watching this, I will be the president. Yay! Welcome to any guests and any new members and any prospective members. We look forward to your involvement in PAEA, and I would like to personally invite you to travel with us as an organization, travel with other art teachers and like-minded folks. This uh, in 2022, we will be going to Greece. It was originally scheduled for 2021, but with the global pandemic, we thought it prudent to postpone travel until 2022. So, summer of 2022, we are getting ready for you, and that gives us lots more time to save for our trip. So, I will share the presentation with you now. So, in traveling, I believe that we can gain global understanding and global perspective. One of my main goals in my art classroom is to help my students learn about and understand other cultures, so that hopefully they do have that global understanding of people that are perhaps different than them or even more similar than they realized, and that maybe there is more peaceful resolutions that we can come to as a people because we have a better global understanding. I feel like it's a lofty goal when I say it out loud, but I don't know, maybe like the starfish story where the guy walks along a beach and sees thousands of starfish stranded, and he picks up one and he's like, I can make a difference to this one, and throws it back, and then another one. And I kind of feel that way with my students, that maybe if I can make a difference with one, that's all that matters. So if I can teach my students a little bit about culture and other people to help them create more peace in the world one at a time, then I feel like I'm doing my job. So travel for me is one of the big ways that I can help in that effort. By me experiencing other cultures, I can bring that to my classroom and share that information with my student. Hopefully, I inspire them to travel once they are older and able to. Some may never be able to travel, and I hope that at least my classroom affords them that opportunity to live vicariously through me. But regardless, I think that travel changes lives and can help inspire peace in our world. Again, that feels like such a lofty goal when I say it aloud, but I do hope that that is something that I can help encourage amongst my students. So, where will your journey begin? Hopefully, with us in Greece of summer 2022. Maya Angelou said, perhaps travel cannot prevent bigotry, but by demonstrating that all peoples cry, laugh, eat, worry, and die, it can introduce the idea that if we try and understand each other, we may even become friends. So, Maya Angelou, this quote rings deeply with me in my goal of helping my students understand that we are more alike than we are different. We've traveled as an organization together 3 times so far. Cuba was the first trip. Unfortunately, I was not able to make that one, but Robin will be sharing a little bit with you about that. And last summer, we went to Alaska, and that was amazing. Just another life-changing trip. Definitely want to get back to Alaska as soon as possible as well. And of course, summer of 2022, here we will be going to Greece. So why travel with PAEA? Besides traveling with like-minded folks and art teachers and colleagues that we all love and respect, I think it's a great opportunity to have more professional discussion of how we can use what we are learning about in our classrooms while we are traveling. And of course, with this trip, you do get ACT 48 hours as a PAEA member. We'll get about 16 ACT 48 hours for all the educational components of our trip. So let's listen to what current past president Robin Brewer has to say about travel.
Hi, my name is Robin Brewer, and I'm a past president of PAEA and a self described world traveler. I love to travel. I've traveled many places with my family, but today I'm going to talk about the travel that I've done for education. And I have traveled with my peers, with colleagues, other art teachers, and I've also traveled with my students. Our first PAEA trip was to Cuba, and we were lucky to get a small window of time where we were able to travel as an educational tour with a tour guide and to experience everything that you think Cuba would be. And it was all that and more. We've also traveled to Alaska recently, and there's a photo of me on a glacier near Mount Denali. And then there are two pictures here of me with my students. Actually, the bottom one, I'm not in that one. I guess I was the photographer. But I've traveled to Italy 5 times with my high school students. And those have been also very rewarding to see their love of the world and of art and traveling. And to feel like I had a part in instilling that love in them. So I would encourage you to consider traveling for educational purposes. It's a good way to expand your ideas of the world and also to get to know people better.
And I can agree with Robin on that. I've done a few educational trips with students too. Back when I taught in Atlanta, I took a high school group to Italy, Spain, and France. And I still keep in touch with those students, and they still have the travel bug. And I think that trip was a huge turning point for a lot of their lives. And then I also did, when I taught middle school, I did 2 trips to Japan with middle school students and their parents. And that was just a remarkable trip. And those students definitely walked away with a bigger understanding of the world. Let's hear from current president, will be past president by the time you watch this, Lisbeth Bucci.
I've been traveling since I was 10 years old. Each and every place, both far and wide, I have ever traveled has shaped me in some special way. It's given me appreciation of culture, food, art, architecture. It truly has inspired me, intrigued me, and piqued my interest. All of the things that I have learned and shared, I've brought with me in my personal journey, teaching, sharing with family and friends, but most of all, my students. These experiences have also helped me become a better citizen of the world.
Such good memories from that Alaska trip. I love watching those pictures go by and reliving last summer. And again, like what Lisbeth said about becoming a better citizen of the world, I agree completely with that. Travel helps you, and it helps your students in that regard too. And our last person we'll hear from today is Jess Noel, our treasurer for PAEA, and her opinion on travel.
Travel is important to me as an educator because travel enables me to stay fresh, open to new ideas and new experiences. I've had the opportunity to travel with PAEA to Alaska, and that was a goal of mine, was to get there one day, but to be able to do it with fellow art educators was even better. It was amazing what we can accomplish as a whole, and it was wonderful to go to the historic museums, the art museums together as a group, and to bond with your fellow art educators is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I encourage you all to travel with PAEA because it's always a grand time, and I hope that you'll join us on our adventure to Greece. Thanks.
We really did have a wonderful time in Alaska, and we got to know one another more, and just such good memories. I can't explain enough, and I'm probably not eloquently explaining that, but the memories of traveling with fellow art educators is just precious, 100%. And I can't wait to do it again. The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. I hope that you will join our book with us and flip the pages to read all about the world. So we have a website for our trip that you can go and learn more about. Most of the information I'm sharing in this presentation will be on the website, and you can also register or express interest on the website there. So feel free to visit that. I've shortened the URL to make it a little easier for you there with tinyurl.com/Greece PAEA. And it is updated now to reflect our new travel dates for July 30th to August 7th, 2022. All right, so getting ready for summer away from summer. Here's our travel route. We'll be headed into Athens and cruise around to the islands with a stay or a one-day trip over there to Kusadasi in Turkey. So 2 countries for one, yay. And then back over to Athens and a day in Delphi. So I'm really excited. I'm a water bug. I've got the travel bug and the water bug. I love being on the ocean and near the water. So I am just so thrilled. And every chance we get, I'll guarantee you that I'm going to be in the water. So I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. Day 1, we will be departing from the USA. ACIS, the company we are traveling through, is really accommodating. If you need to travel out of Philly, that can be accommodated. Pittsburgh accommodated, or whichever airport is closest and most convenient to you. You can make those requests when you register, and they can accommodate that. Especially since we are not a student group, we're an adult group, it's much more easy to manage that. So have no fear, you don't have to fly out of Philly. Once we are in Athens, we'll arrive in probably the late afternoon, early evening. So we'll meet our tour manager and begin to explore the city. We'll save going to the Acropolis for another day when we come back towards the end of it. So it's really just a get to know the city. And they, of course, suggest trying some of these yummy treats. I'm not super certain of the pronunciation, so I look forward to learning about that. Lukumads. I have so much to learn. I have been reading a lot of Greek mythology in preparation for the trip, which was going to happen this summer. But since it's postponed, now I get to maybe study up a little bit on the language and other little bits of cultural information that might be helpful for me to understand. And when you see these letters, this is telling you what meal is included for that day. So you see when we get in, we'll be provided dinner. Day 3, we will cruise over from the port of Piraeus, and then we'll cruise over to Mykonos. Super excited about that. So much mythology surrounding Mykonos, and I just want to soak it all up when we're there. And you will walk around and view the windmills, which are just dazzling as well. Explore the shoreline and the coves and the grottos, and just have a lovely day ashore in Mykonos. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner included. Day 4. We'll cruise over to the Turkish port and resort town of Kusadasi. We'll travel inland to Ephesus to tour a complete ancient city. I don't know about you, but I just love going through ruins. Ever since I was a kid, if I found an abandoned building or anything, I loved exploring it. So this brings out the child in me. and just, I guess, the explorer as well. We'll walk down to the marble road, still groved by the chariot wheels, and see the intact facade of the Library of Celsus and the great temple of Serapis, as well as the stadium, theater, baths, and more. In the afternoon, late afternoon, we'll sail again and dock at the town of Patmos and view the castle-like monastery, which you see here, of St. John and the Cave of the Apocalypse, which might ring all too true to our current future, but it's not as doom and gloom as it sounds, but it's really, really cool. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner included. Day 5, we cruise over to Rhodes and enjoy a full day ashore on the islands that the Romans called the Bride of the Sun. And just looking at the picture there, I'm sure you can see why. It's a beautiful, gorgeous town bathed in sunshine. Ugh, I can't wait to get there, you guys. I wish it were this summer. 2022 can't get here fast enough. We'll get to tour the medieval palace of the Grand Master of the Knights. And then later we'll travel to Lindos to tour its Acropolis and see the old mansions as well as the Byzantine Church of the Virgin Mary, or Panagia. You'll also have time to soak up the culture at your own pace before we head out from that port. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner included. Day 6, we will head over to Heraklion, the capital of Crete, another island soaked in mythology. I can't wait to see the 5,000-year-old Minoan Palace of Knossos and just to see Santorini. We're going to get to go on a cable car from the old port up to the whitewashed village of Fira, which is a town perched on an ancient volcano. And many, of course, believe that this is the fabled continent of Atlantis. So, just goosebumps galore. I can't wait to see it and walk around. And it's the summer, it's going to be hot. Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to bring all the linen clothes and big hats I can, and I am going to revel in that heat and glorious food and culture of Santorini. I can't wait. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner included. Then we go back to the ship and head back to Athens. Once back docked in at Piraeus, we will do our sightseeing of Athens, ascending to the Acropolis and to see the Parthenon, of course, and the Agora, stroll through the Acropolis Museum, which is a more modern museum. So it's an interesting contrast of going to the ruins of the Acropolis and then to the modern museum to get a little bit more history and culture from that. And then I'm so excited about this. And then that evening, we will be entertained at a Greek cultural evening in a traditional village setting. We'll help and enjoy a demonstration of tzatziki making and enjoy fresh pressed olive oil, and then an evening of professional dancers, and we'll get to learn to do Greek dances, maybe a little plate smashing as well thrown in there. Opa, right? So I am super excited for that. So we have breakfast and dinner. Lunch will be on our own that day as we are exploring Athens. Day 8, we will travel via bus from Athens to Delphi, traveling through all the olive groves, I guess you call them, as we make our way to Delphi, where we'll get to see the area that the fabled oracles made their speeches and all that. I'm just so excited. I can't even form full sentences, you guys. I hope you join us. So we will get to explore the Temple of Apollo and all the areas there in Delphi before we head back to our final evening in Athens. Breakfast and dinner are included, lunch on our own as we are out and about. And then obviously the final evening will be in Delphi, back in Athens. And that morning, the next day, we will depart for home. So sad to leave this magical and culture filled, mythological, all the words, all the feelings, place. I hope you're excited, and I hope my excitement is palpable to you and it makes you want to come, because I just can't even fathom the right words. As Jack Kerouac said, because in the end, you won't remember the time you spent working in the office or mowing your lawn. Climb that goddamn mountain. So come and climb Greece with me. Come and explore it with your fellow art educators. And I'll go through this quickly, but you can also explore this on your own at the website mentioned above, and I'll have the link again at the end. But what's included? All of this, your flights, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as noted. When we're on the cruise ship, the beverages that are non-alcoholic, of course, are unlimited. Our 3 or 4 star hotels will have a 24-hour tour manager with us the entire time. Centrally located hotels. Start exploring means the minute we land, we start exploring. Global network is available to us through ACIS 24 hours help service, and all of this other great stuff. Most all of the places we visit to, the admission is taken care of, so we don't have to worry about any additional costs there. It is covered in the price of the trip. And here is the price tag. I've been saving for it since last year, since we initiated this trip. So I'm ready to go. But now I'll have a little bit more pocket money with the extra time. The cost breakdown, if you don't make the early registration fee by December 1st, it'll go up by $100 for you. So hopefully you will commit, and then the full payment is due on March 1st. You could do a monthly automatic payment plan with them if you like. Me personally, what I do is in my bank account, I have it every day set aside $8 to $10 into a separate savings goal. So, oh, sorry if you hear my cat running around chasing a little toy right now. There's also insurance and peace of mind that's included with the trip. So ACIS tries to offer comprehensive plans for that. Everybody will be included in the basic plan down here, but you're welcome to upgrade, and more information is available on that on the trip site. So the basic gives you good coverage if something were to happen. But you might feel like you need a little bit more. And the refund policies, should you be curious of that, you can see here. And since everything's been going on with the pandemic, all refund policies have been extended to 65 days prior to departure. So they've given a little bit more wiggle room for that. And yeah, so you can see there with the basic protection plan what you could get refunded versus everything else here. Peace of mind policies. So as I said, you have until 45 days pre-departure to change the program's date, which you see we've already done that from 2021 to 2022. So if the pandemic continues and doesn't get better, they will adjust their peace of mind policy, and we could potentially put it off another year if needed. So hopefully that will help. And they are working closely with CDC and the World Health Organization, following their recommendations and guidelines. So they are cognizant of everything that's happening regarding travel at this current moment. Other additional offerings that ACIS has, you can see here, just added safety measures, and of course their 24/7 support that can be reached at any time. As Mark Twain said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. I hope that you come with us to Greece. I hope you explore with us and dream and discover something different, something new, maybe even something similar. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I put my personal email address on here, but you could also reach me at president@paea.org. And of course, the trip site there for you as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please join us. Travel with some art teachers to a culture across the ocean. And I can't wait. I hope you come. I really do. All right. Have a great school year.